this morning to track a controversial bill in Colorado. This would impact the sale of semi-automatic guns with those detachable magazines.
So Colorado was out here trying to ban the sale of AR-15s.
Welcome to Pegasus versus the world, where we take on challenges, comedy, trending topics, and some travel.
City boy, city boy.
Well, this is unfortunate. This happened about a year. No, this is going on right now. Right now, we're in the middle of a fight where there is a huge potential that they're going to ban ARs at this capacity in Colorado, which is really tragic and sad. The 2 Amendment folks will understand me. Everyone else will cry in the comments, just like they cried in the comments about my reaction to who was the dude who did the gun comedy stand-up? I even forget his name. But it is what it is. Maybe listening to Colin Noir might help some of these lefties who don't understand guns. He's not only a gun aficionado that's reputable, that I actually trust. Beyond that, he's a lawyer. He's a legit lawyer. So he understands things in a different realm. But we'll get into this because the gun control stuff they're trying to do isn't really to protect you, the citizen, right? It never is. It's typically a money grab. It's this, that, the other. It's for control, and it's a money grab. And people need to see that. Colorado has some of the strictest gun laws. Some of the strictest gun laws, and that whatever, the shooter in Boulder at the King Supers still happened with some of the strictest gun laws. But then they're going to tell you that they need to strip the law-abiding citizen of their gun rights for criminals, right? Just a couple months ago, we saw the Venezuelans taking over that apartment. All of them had semi-automatic rifles, AK-47s. They had like ARs, like, you know, they up in the club, man. So they can have the weapons, criminals that is, but the law-abiding citizen cannot without jumping through all these hoops, paying all this money, getting in registries, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, I'm going to let him take it away. This is going on in real time. But what I was saying was we just beat this bill. A bill like this was going on a year or 2 ago. Okay, I recommend Dragon Man's channel. They're from Colorado. If you go into the description, they will tell you how you can help fight this bill. You got to get a hold of Jared Polis. You got to get a hold of your senator. You got to go to the Capitol and stand up and testify. Okay, you guys, if you're from Colorado and this is important to you, this is why this is on my channel. For everyone else, I don't care what you think of me. I don't care about your opinion or ideas. When it comes to the Second Amendment and the First Amendment, I am unapologetically for and pro those amendments. Freedom of speech, absolutely. I don't care if it's hate speech. I don't care. And freedom to own your firearm. That's where I stand. If you don't like it, you can say bye-bye to your boy. Anyways, let's get into this. This is very interesting.
This would impact the sale of semi-automatic guns with those detachable magazines.
So Colorado was out here trying to ban the sale of AR-15s, shotguns, and rifles with extended mags.
Shotguns, y'all.
I swear politicians treat gun bans like bad exes. No matter how many times they get rejected, they just keep coming back for more. But this time, they didn't just try to ban guns, they tried to make it impossible to buy one.
Senate Bill 3 is no longer a ban on certain guns, but Republicans, they still strongly oppose it. It's now passed the Senate, heavily amended, and it goes on to the House. A major change at the end of last week. An amendment was added that would allow the sale of these types of guns, but the buyer would have to be vetted, complete a training course with a test, and be added to a registry.
And right when you think, okay, maybe they realize this is insane, boom. They slap a registry on it. Yeah, they turned a right into a privilege, threw in a paywall, and then called it a day.
Say it again. They turned a right into a privilege. It is your God-given right to be able to protect yourself.
But don't worry, I'm about to break down how this is even worse than a ban.
Yesterday, 11 Senate Republicans shared why they were against the bill, several saying that with this amendment, this is no longer just banning guns. They believe it's turning a right into a privilege.
All right, let's walk through this mess, shall we? Initially, this was supposed to be a straight-up ban on AR-15s and other semi-autos, but some lawmakers realized that that was a little too blatant, so they got creative. Instead of banning them outright, they just made it so difficult to buy one that most people won't even bother. Now, before you even think about buying a gun, you have to apply for an eligibility card, get fingerprinted like you just booked in the county jail, pass a background check, which, by the way, has no time limit for approval, take a 4 to 12 hour training course, which includes, wait for it, victim awareness and empathy training, pass a 90% test because apparently we're getting graded on our rights now, and then pay a fee that the state can raise whenever they feel like it. By the time you actually get through all of that, you're out hundreds of dollars. You've wasted who knows how many hours, and you've probably aged 5 years. And after all of that, you still might not get approved. And just when you think that's the worst of it, Colorado's like, oh, one more thing. We're keeping a registry of every single person who goes through this. Because what could possibly go wrong with a government list of all the gun owners? Right. Now, before we go any deeper into this insanity, let's talk about making a bold statement. And no, I don't mean some bland political press release. I'm talking about something that actually says what we're all thinking without saying a word. Or maybe saying some words. You know, when the ATF shows up, they're not here to talk about your whiskey collection or your cigar humidor. That's why I dropped the, I'm guessing you're not here about the alcohol or tobacco design over at shop.mrcolinnoir.com. This thing is slick.
Shout out to Colin. This is a shirt you can get on his website and all that stuff. In this original video that I'm reacting to, you can find that in the description. Rock with him, support him. He's actually, if you're not familiar with him, he's a good dude. And as you can see, he's reputable, but he breaks this down in a way that it's just, I think it's better for the public to have this type of understanding of what's going on, because I read these comments and they're just ludicrous. Like, especially, I will not read comments from people from other countries about guns. I don't care. I don't give a flying F. You guys go deal with your knife crime and whatever the hell you guys got going on, because you got some shit going on. People getting arrested for posting a mean meme in Europe. I don't want to hear nothing about that. I'm American. This is my God-given right. This is what makes America great. And yeah, man, they fronting. But support bro, man. Colin Noir. You can go to his channel, watch this video, and in the description, you can get to his website and pick up one of these shirts if you're rocking with it and other stuff.
Says everything that needs to be said.
The bill is expected to pass the House and already has the support of Governor Polis.
See, this isn't about safety. This is about control. Gun control activists love to pretend they're only targeting the bad guys, but in reality, the only people they're restricting are law-abiding gun owners. Criminals, yeah, they're not signing up for background checks. They're not sitting through 12 hours of training. They're out here getting their guns the same way they always have.
Let me oust this real quick, because y'all think y'all know everything in the comments, man. And I'm going to keep badging on this because I know from life experience. And when I think I was 17 years old, I bought an AK-47 from a gang member for $250. And I had that thing for a certain amount of time. Some things that happened that I'm not going to get into on the channel until the time is right, because it's a wild freaking story. But I didn't have a background check. He didn't either. Like, this is what you guys, America is gun culture. To protect yourself, it would be ignorant for you to not have a gun in your house. And the funny thing is, too, when they do this type of shit, there is a window for you to go buy, your semi-automatic weapon before they pass this. And they're not going to, they could put things in place to come take them or do like give back stuff. But typically that hasn't happened yet. So anyways, when people say all this ignorant shit, and we're on the border of Mexico, and there's a lot of things coming through that border, there's a lot of underground black market stuff going on in America because we are such a wealthy country, but we are a company as well. You just have to think with some logic. Like, criminals and people that you don't want to have guns are still going to get guns. I get what they're trying to do, make them less accessible to the average crazy kid on psych meds who's going to do all this crazy shit. But in the process, you're eliminating all the good people and good citizens who want to be gun owners. It's insanity. They're throwing out the baby with the bathwater with this type of stuff.
through theft, the black market, and other illegal means. This is like telling people they need a government-issued permit, a 12-hour class, and a registry to exercise free speech. Imagine having to take an exam just to post on X. That's how absurd this is. And let's talk about the whole gun registry thing for a second. You know who loves gun registries? Governments that plan to take your guns later. This is why the Second Amendment exists, because history has repeatedly shown that registration leads to confiscation. Now, here's where things get...
That's a t-shirt, bro. Registration leads to confiscation. Let's go.
Governments that plan to take your guns later. This is why the Second Amendment exists, because history has repeatedly shown that registration leads to confiscation. Now, here's where things get a little interesting. Some of the original Democrat sponsors of this bill actually backed out before the vote. Why? Because they knew it was political unaliving. One of them straight up admitted that he couldn't risk losing his seat. Oh, so when it's your job on the line, suddenly you care what the voters think. Funny how that works. And a lot of us should remember that.
Two of the bill's original Democratic sponsors did join Republicans to vote against it, and both of them are from El Paso County.
I couldn't risk the fact of possibly losing my seat through a recall. All the gun legislation that we've had in the past, I voted.
Oh, snap. That's crazy. This is kind of wild. This is my county. I know Tony Exum. I know his son. He's an artist. That's wild. I know of Tony Exum. I mean, he's in a conservative space, man. He's in a red spot in Colorado, though, one of the last strongholds of, the red, because this town has went totally blue, and it's a catastrophe in my opinion. But yeah, that's Tony Exum. That's crazy. I didn't know this part.
For even with the threat of recalls, but this had a different energy to it. It was a difficult day leading up to this because, like I said, once I give my word, I'm true to my word, and I went back on my word today.
Unfortunately, the bill, when it got introduced, was quite different from what I was expecting. And as I followed the process along, it became more and more of another burden upon law-abiding, lawful gun owners. This bill became so much more than just trying to get rid of those high-capacity magazines that ultimately I could not support it.
And let's not forget, Colorado already has gun control stacked to the ceiling. Universal background checks, magazine bans, red flag laws, yet somehow criminals still exist. This is the exact reason why anti-gunners play the long game. They know they can't get a full ban overnight. So they go piece by piece, adding layers of red tape until owning a gun is damn near impossible. At the end of the day, this isn't about Colorado. It's about a bigger movement trying to dismantle the Second Amendment one law at a time. And the only way to fight back is to stay informed, stay vocal, and most importantly, vote. I know we think we have everything covered now, but remember, on a state level, they can still do this shit consistently and win. So if you're in Colorado, you better start making some noise now. And if you're in a safe state, don't get too comfortable. This fight is coming to everyone's doorstep eventually. And if you need a reminder of why that right is so important, let me tell you about the mother who had to fight off 3 armed intruders while holding her baby in the other hand. Yeah, you heard that right. One hand on a gun, one hand on her child, and all the heart in the world. But the part that really got me, she actually warned them first, and they still shot at her. This is why we fight for the right to bear arms, because when evil kicks down your door, you don't get a second chance. So click here to watch my breakdown of her story that you need to hear. If you like this video, drop a comment. Let me know what you think and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. And as always, stay armed, stay trained, and stay free.
Yo, God bless Colin Noir. God bless him. See this video down here though, y'all? This is the video. So let me just click on it real quick.
Hey, Emily.
If you're still watching this video, you're down for the cause. I know you are. So this is Dragon Man's channel. Go over here, watch this video. In the description, they let you know and update you on everything that you would need to do, so you can testify against the bill, updated bill text with Amendment L041, find your district senator and House representatives, Senate voting record. I mean, all this stuff, bro. This just ain't about Colorado. If you're watching this and you ain't from Colorado, but you have people in Colorado, you got to get the word out because it starts here. It starts in places like Seattle, Colorado, New York, California, and then it just spreads and it spreads, and it's a step-by-step process, right? You know, people let them take the magazines and throw in red flag laws in Colorado. Now they want to make it impossible, or you got to be a fucking millionaire, thousandaire to be able to own these type of weapons. It's insane. It's insane. But again, Colorado is baby California, so none of this surprises me. And, you know, we'll see where things go. I rent currently. I don't own a home here, so I can get up and go to wherever the hell I want. So we will see how this pans out. Again, I'm not trying to be like some damn desperado necessarily, but if I'm going to be an American citizen, I will fight for my rights that are God-given at birth, period. And that's just where it is. I don't care what no one else has to say.
City boy, city boy.